Welcome to the LK Show. This is our very first episode. I'm Likok.
And I'm Kay. This is your talk show where all social, economical, and political discourses are discussed, debated, and analyzed.
So sit back as we take you through the major schemes, popular culture, and sometimes we shall also discuss about uncensored rumors. The Inner Line Permit is an offshoot of Bengal Eastern Regulation Frontier Act of 1873. It was introduced by the colonial rulers mostly to prevent the influx of people coming into the hills and also to protect their trade interests in oil, tea, etc.
As of today, the three northeastern states, namely Arunachal, Nagaland, and Mizoram, are under this very ILP Act, which is meant to protect the indigenous populations and tribal interests. Now, in context of Nagaland, the top three Bharat Ratna holders for their hospitality are Kohima, Tuensang, and Mon.
Now let's see the condition of our capital, Kohima. As per the 2011 census, Kohima has a population of 99,039. We also have a report that there are 36,000 ILP card holders in Kohima alone. We also have a report that Kohima shelters approximately 11,000 illegal Bangladeshi immigrants here in the city alone. Now, which would mean that for every two Nagas here in the capital, we have one non-local to play hide and seek with you. And also for every six Nagas here in the capital, there is one illegal Bangladeshi immigrant who is ready to call you Dada.
Now you can imagine the condition of Dimapur, which does not fall under the ILP Act. The influx of immigrants is so high that every second step you take, you bump into a non-local. So now the question is, 1. Does this act have any impact at all? 2. What is the administration doing to curb the influx of illegal immigrants into our state? 3. How do they filter and differentiate between an Indian citizen and an illegal immigrant seeking for ILP card when both the parties present verified documents? Which leads to another question as to who issues government recognized ID cards to those illegal immigrants. Are they private parties or our very own crooked government employees?
The only deportation center for illegal immigrant is located in Kolkata. Now you're left wondering, does our government actually deport them up to Kolkata, or do they simply dump them there in Dimapur, which obviously does not fall under the ILP purview? Now imagine this, if you were to deport immigrant from Kohima to Dimapur, and then on your way back to Kohima, you encounter the same immigrants having tea in Pipima. What would be your reaction? They're smarter than you. You know, it's like Vijay Malaya getting arrested in London, and even before the London police officers could pronounce his name correctly, he gets bailed. The point here is deporting them up to Dimapur is not the solution, and it will never be the solution.
Which is why the most urgent need now is to bring Dimapur under the ILP Act. The government must realize the gravity of the situation and act before Nagaland becomes another Tripura. And to those godfathers out there who like to be called boss by the IABIs, must act responsibly and ensure that their personal motive does not ruin the interests of the state in general.
Now let's talk about Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition Act. The NLTP Act of 1989 is also famously known as Nagaland Liquor Total Prohibition and Total Hypocrisy Act of 1989. This act is so effective and so strong that as per the reports of the National Sample Survey Office 2011 and 12 data, Nagaland ranks among the top 10 alcohol consumers in India. The report also further reads that every citizen of Nagaland consumes 159 ml of alcohol per week per capita, which would imply that every single Nagas drinks 7.5 liters of alcohol, which further reads that for every Nagas, we drink 11 bottles of hard drinks, just hard drinks in 12 months.
So, The biggest question that needs answering now is how does alcohol get into the markets of Nagaland, or where is it sold when our own police forces are manning the gates of Nagaland 24/7 throughout the year? Did the creativity and innovation of smugglers, truck drivers to be precise, outdo the elite police forces of Nagaland? Or do we have godfathers who are everywhere and at the same time nowhere to be seen? Worst case scenario, do we already have a factory here in Nagaland? Or, as in all cases in Naga society, is this doing the talking here?
In any commercial center of the city here in Nagaland, wherein you see a lot of shops like computer dealers, bakeries, departmental stores, and next to it you see a tiny worn out shop selling just mineral waters and a bag of potato chips, and you are left wondering how does that shop even manages to pay a huge amount of rent. Boy, I tell you, that is a place where you get liver cirrhosis. All you have to do is walk up to the shop and ask Ase, and the reply is, you have a bottle of entertainment in a moment.
Now at the end of the day, does imposing such a law curb the flow of alcohol in our society, or does it even discourage the consumers? The holier-than-thou NGOs and groups must acknowledge the fact that adulterated alcohol is killing our society today, since there is no proper mechanism in place to monitor the kind of alcohol Nagas are consuming. So to draw a conclusion, on one hand, the act is toothless, and on the other hand, it acts as a catalyst for a booming black market in our society today.
So, what is the solution? If I tell you to drink, you would not drink. If I tell you not to drink, you would drink. I think the best way out here is, let's all drink.
Now let us talk about Digital India program. Digital India is an overtly ambitious flagship of the present NDA government with a mission to connect rural areas with high-speed internet networks, development of a secure and stable digital infrastructure, delivering government services digitally, and universal digital literacy rate. We are not sure whether the government has developed a secure and stable digital infrastructure, but there is one very outstanding and important category in which Indians have shown a significant progress, and that is pornography.
The porn consumption of India jumped over to 75% in just 1 year, thanks to Reliance Jio. The data rate came crashing down in the second half of the last fiscal year. In June 2016, India was consuming 140 million GB of pornography. And in the year 2017, just 1 month, March, India was consuming 1,300 million GB of pornography. Now, which would mean that India is consuming 75 GB of pornography per second. Roughly, by the end of this show, India would have consumed 31,500 GB of pornography.
And here is very good news for the northeastern states, something we all should be very proud of. Mizoram ranks as the highest porn consumer in India today. And given that Mizos are expert in dubbing all kinds of movies, even to the extent of dubbing Indian soap operas, we are left wondering if their porn is dubbed in Mizo as well.
India might not have the highest GDP or Olympic medals, but thanks to the Digital India program, we now rank third in world porn consumption.
So basically, what the government aimed to achieve and what they actually achieved through the Digital India program is like the government launching the Tejas Express high-speed train fully loaded with the state-of-the-art facilities, only to return from Goa on its maiden trip with broken LCD screens, missing headphones, and a littered train. So on Swats Bharat, right?
This is the LK Show. Signing out, I'm Likok.
And I'm Kay.
I know you'll forget the names, but see you in our next episode.